Hey, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all doing well. So I wanted this video to be kind of a reminder of that the power is all within you in this big world that's so small and we're so little. Honestly. Okay, let's just get to it. So it's not a one lifestyle fits everybody kind of world, and like I said, you have to experiment with so many different things until you find what actually works for you. Even like a morning routine, there is so many morning routines out there. I love watching other people's morning routines and I love getting ideas from them too. I also had to remind myself that I don't have to follow them exactly to a T. I can pick and choose bits and bobs from every single video that I watch, and from what I hear, from what I read, from what I read, and I don't have to align with everybody else's way of doing things. And finding my own rhythm and recognizing when it is that I have the most energy, whether it's in the morning, whether it's in midday, or is it in the afternoon, or even midnight, because there's so many people that have a spike of energy during midnight and do their best work during that time. And I think that's so important to find a job or an exercise routine or a diet that actually fits the way that you are. And I know that might sound like very obvious, but to some people it's not, because so many people follow other people's diet routines and exercise routines when they live completely different lifestyles to them. Yeah, and I think that's why it's so important to find people that actually align with your direction in life, because obviously there are so many, I don't know, influencers, whatever you want to call them, out there that can actually encourage you and support you through that process, especially if you share the same beliefs and the same kind of way of viewing the world, whatever. But it's also important to recognize what kind of factors are actually limiting you in life, because you need to recognize what actually makes you feel good, especially when it comes to like food and like sleep. You need to know how much sleep you need to get for yourself, because some people might need 8 hours of sleep, other people do really well on like 5 to 6 hours of sleep and maybe nap throughout the day. And that's when it comes, like, you have to consider experimentation, because life is basically an experiment. It's a game, and you need to try things to actually know what works for you, because you can't just expect somebody to make decisions for you in your life and tell you this is what's going to work. And obviously I've been part of it too, and I'm still part of it now, because I'm still figuring myself out, and there's some things that work for me, some things that don't. The things that don't work for me, I don't do. Like, for example, I try to be a 5 a.m. girly, but I can't, because it doesn't work for me. You can force yourself, of course you can, and maybe eventually you get to a point where you've been doing it for so long that it's routine to you. But there was also something that I saw, I don't remember what video it was, but where it's like we have been conditioned our whole lives to be in this kind of rigorous routine from like childhood, from schools and stuff. So like it's kind of that desire to keep on doing it even though we don't want to, because we're so used to it and it's so ingrained in us that we think it's natural for us to be like that. And then we forget to actually take rest. And like, say during winter time, we should be resting most of the time and hibernating, because we are in alignment with nature. But obviously the patriarchy will not allow us to do that. So we need to find balance within this world and actually see what it is that does work for us, what makes us feel good, and consider the things that will actually benefit us in the long run and not just for now. Because it's important to live in the present, as I always say, because your present is your future. But also consider the fact that what you are choosing to do right now is going to affect you in the long term. In that process, you need to start discovering your own likes and dislikes and seeing what is actually just trending and you're just following a trend, and what is actually that you do want to do and you do actually have a desire for. Because there's a lot of things out there like that will trend, like say hair colors, nail colors, I'm just talking on like girly term kind of thing. So a certain makeup trend, and like people will hop on it thinking that this is what they have to do, but in reality that hair color doesn't suit them, that nail length doesn't suit their lifestyle, or that makeup doesn't suit their face shape. And it's like, yeah, do what it is that you want to do, but at the end of the day you need to stop listening to what everyone else is doing and what everybody likes, because one person comes up with an idea, it trends, and then everybody's hopping on it, and then people are thinking to themselves like, oh, why doesn't it look the same on me? Because you are not that person. And I think there's a balance of like, obviously I find inspiration from other people and their style, especially like I love Pinterest, for example, and I say, oh god, I have so many pins on there, but it's just like to get ideas. I don't ever copy outfits like to a T, because some of the stuff I can't even afford to buy that those people are wearing, but I can find like similar items that I already have in my wardrobe and add my own touch to it. And I think that's when it becomes very true to you, because you're still taking inspiration from others and like inspiration from nature or whatever, but you are adding your own touch to it, and you don't feel that pressure to be like, I need to get this exactly like that, because then it's not really you and it's not really what you like. You really need to use your critical thinking in some circumstances and do your own research and actually look within if this is something that you want to do, or if it's something that's coming outside of you and you feel like it's expected of you to do. And I was lost in that too. Like I thought I had to wear certain things, do my hair a certain way, do my makeup a certain way. And then once I kind of, like I said, detached myself from the outside world and like took inspiration here and there, like, oh, I like this trend, like I might try to improvise it into my own little wardrobe or whatever. But a lot of the time I'd look at things and I think to myself, actually this isn't me, and this doesn't feel really good to me, and this doesn't scream, oh, this is Nida. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I think like going through that process now, and like even like my wardrobe, and I feel like I've been replacing a lot of stuff and have like clearing out as well, and like replacing my clothing with more basics. And I think that's another video that I want to do, is like how to be a mindful consumer and get your wardrobe to a base, if that makes sense, like get a base and then like build on top of that. So yeah, I think I'll do that in a separate video. Asking other people for their opinions on what you should do with your life is something that I've kind of like not struggled with, but I think I had a tough time with, because I would ask people for their opinion just to hear their opinion, not the fact that I wanted for them to tell me what I should do. I just think it's interesting to see how people view me and what they think, let's say for example, what I should be doing with my life, or how I should wear something, or how I should do my hair. I don't know, just little things like that. But I never actually like necessarily take that advice, because I know what I'm already going to do. And that, I don't know if that's like a toxic thing to do, but I think it's just nice to hear other people's observations of you and how they see you, because a lot of the time you can get certain realizations and you're like, oh okay, like is this how I'm portraying myself to the world? And it's interesting to see how people have different viewpoints on you as well. And I think it's just not taking everything as like fact, and taking everything as with a pinch of salt, because everyone's speaking from their own perspective and from their own opinions. So yeah, the way they view the world is obviously very differently, and that's why you can't take everything for a fact when you ask for other people's opinions. Even when it comes to like relationships, for example, I never actually ask even my closest friends, or like my closest people in my life, on what I should do with a certain person, for example, or like, is this the right thing to do? Because I trust myself enough, and I've built that trust within myself to make the right decision for myself. And I think that's where kind of like you end up getting mixed up in a lot of things, because your opinion gets mixed up as well, and you get all these different viewpoints, advice, that it gets to a point where you get very confused, and then you lose your own intuition. And like I've experienced this, and like it's really scary, because I've had friends where I would feel like I know the answers to what I want to do and who I am, but then their opinion and the way they would reflect their own selves onto me made it seem as if that wasn't true. And then once you've distanced yourself from those people, you realize that actually you was right all along, and you just got lost in the source or whatever. I don't even know if that's the right saying, but it's a freaky kind of situation, because you kind of realize, shit, like those people are not for me. And yeah, and it's just really, really weird, because you end up kind of like projecting like mirrors of each other. But yeah, it's also important to remember that not everybody's going to agree with the decisions that you make in life. Your family, your friends, whoever, even like strangers outside of you, and not everybody's going to understand, and that is okay. And I think we have to remember that we can't please everybody, and the only person that you should focus on pleasing is yourself. And obviously be kind and generous and giving, but when you actually can, because a lot of the time we overgive ourselves and we want to impress people that couldn't care less, and we put their opinion on a pedestal, and then everything that we do depends on them. And it's like, I don't know, like for me, learning to be like true to myself and accepting all my flaws and accepting my past self and accepting all the decisions I've made and moving forward with that, because I know my past is my present and my future self, because where I am right now I couldn't have gotten without my past self. So I need to be grateful for her, and I need to be grateful for the decisions that she made, because I wouldn't be the person that I am today. And that's something that you really need to remind yourself of, because if you're currently not happy with yourself and you're disappointed with the decisions you've made, you made them for a reason. And I think there's always a reason behind everything, because if you have good intentions, if you lead with your heart, also your mind, you need to find that balance as well, which is obviously difficult, but you have to get to a point where your mind and your heart align, and you won't feel that guilt or that resentment towards yourself. But also just accept the fact that there was something inside you telling you to make certain choices, even if you think in the past they weren't like the good choices that you made, but you made them for a reason. And just remind yourself of that always. Like I say, happiness isn't a destination that you reach, it's something that you create in your daily life. So make choices that genuinely make you happy and that genuinely bring you joy. And I think it starts with the small things in life, because that's how I started, and just finding gratitude in all the little things. My perspective has shifted a lot when it comes to life and the way I see things, because I find gratitude everywhere, and it brings me so much joy, like genuinely brings me so much joy, and I can't express it, and I get emotional even talking about it. Can you see my eyes are tearing up again God. I'm such an emotional wreck sometimes, honestly, but it's coming from passion, and I feel like everybody needs to find that in life, is that passion in life, because it's not something that's just outside of me, it's something that's within me. And yes, a lot of the things are outside of me that I'm grateful for, but I'm also always reminding myself that I'm grateful for myself, for having that mindset, and for fixing my mind, and for doing it on my own with the help of books and other people on YouTube as well, that have led me to the destination that I am now. So yeah, just be grateful, always be grateful for yourself, and you'll see more things to be grateful for in life, and you'll see it everywhere. You won't be able to miss it. You've created that sturdy base and the walls and then the roof, and it's just like building a house, I guess, like a strong house. Yeah, I'm done now. That was a lot. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have anything to add, please do comment down below. Give me any video ideas if you want me to film anything specific. I'll be going to Edinburgh next week, so I might do a little vlog. I'm not sure yet, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. So you might get a little vlog again. But yes, thank you so much for watching again, guys. I hope you have an amazing day as always, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.